and welcome to a new episode of the Puma in the Cage, our new format where every week we have a chit chat with three comedians, and we're going to try to discover a little bit more about them. And I can't wait to introduce you our guests that we have today. But you stay with us, send us your like, your hearts, your smiles, comment, you're part of the show. You're with us. But let's start with what I found this week. In this unprecedented time, many shows have been cancelled, as you know, and one of those is the Eurovision Song Contest. Oh my God, I'm missing it. I love the Eurovision, though, that tacky style, so I love it. And you know, there is also a kid version, and I think we found a winner for the kid version. Have a look.
I wonder what's inside your butthole. I wonder what's inside your butthole. Maybe there's astronauts and maybe there's aliens all inside your butthole. What's inside your butthole? I always want to know. What's inside your butthole? I always want to know. What's inside your butt?
Also, many reporters now, they're working from home. And one forgot to put his trousers on.
The program if it is successful, guys.
Very cool. We love it, Will. Thank you.
Well, we loved it too. Thank you very much. Well, I got as far as not wearing a bra. I have it today, though, but it's in there most of the time. I don't wear it. You can't see me anyway. Another change in this new way of working is having meetings via Zoom from home. But there was one woman that she didn't really want to miss anything, not even a little word of the meeting. So, well, she took it one step further. Let's see if you can spot her.
Of the profession, and in reality, I've heard that social work kind of has very high standards and like good standards in terms of things, and that oftentimes people of other professions don't have. Yeah.
Hold on.
What happened?
I saw nothing.
I wonder what's inside your butthole.
In other news, apparently animals in zoos are feeling a little bit down. So technology came and helped, and zookeepers decided to help those animals with meetings on Zoom with visitors. Let's have a look. This eel doesn't seem very impressed. Probably someone was.
I wonder what's inside your butthole.
And on this note, let's start the show! And here we are with all our guests of today. Hello!
Hello!
But let me introduce you all for those of you who don't know you. So here on my, left or right? I get confused with left and right. Anyway, beside me there is Daphna Baram. Hello. Left.
Hello.
In
Hi,
the
Romina.
bottom right, I don't know, I guess, Steve. Under me there is Steve McLean.
All right.
All right.
Yay.
All right. And then, last but not least, Matt Roper.
Hi.
Here with us from New York.
Woo!
International.
International indeed.
Very international. Yeah.
Yeah. We are very, very international. So how are you doing, guys? I haven't seen, well, the only one I've seen very recently is Steve, which is about 1 year ago, I guess, more or less. Yeah, the UMC'd the Puma when we start all over again. And then Matt, I've seen you in November 2016 when I came to New York.
Well, that's a long time ago. I didn't think it was that long ago, but it is, eh?
Yeah, it is. It's a long time ago, and I love. I have to say this, Matt. I can't not say this. If when all this is over and you go to New York, you have to go to the Slippers room and
The
see Matt
Slipper Room.
Roper. It's brilliant. The best
What was-
night I've ever seen.
What was so special is I remember you. I met you and brought you to the Slipper Room, which is like, it's a burlesque joint. You know, it's a variety theatre and burlesque club in the Lower East Side, which is, I don't know if any of you know the Lower East Side, but it's a very kind of like, it's a cool little like low. It's 2 o'clock here, and I've not long woken up actually. I'm like awake all night and asleep most of the day. Anyway, she'd been up the Empire State Building and the Rockefeller Center, and she wasn't impressed at all. And I took her to the rooftop of the Slipper Room, and it's only 4 floors up, and she was screaming and shouting off the edge of the wall, saying, "Wow, this is what I wanted! This is what I wanted to see! All my trippings!" It's like that Led Zeppelin album cover. It's the real New York neighborhood. It's not.
Yeah, I remember it. It's brilliant. Yeah, this is what makes you feel. I remember having some breakfast there at 4 o'clock in the morning because I was jet lagged.
Has everyone visited Matt in New York apart from me?
Oh, no.
No,
Matt,
Fuck you all.
Last time I was in New York was October 2001. And as none of you is too young to remember, it was a weird time to be there.
It was.
I didn't know Matt then. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
But Steve, you're welcome anytime when all this is
Cheers,
over.
man.
Let me
I'm on
know.
my way.
We should do a collective trip all together.
Sure.
Let's go to New York.
Yeah, we should
I'm
invade.
not going whilst
this-
that man's in charge. I'm not going whilst that man's in charge. I'll be there in January if all's good.
And you know,
Ooh,
actually,
nice.
when I was there, in that time, November 2016, it was when he got elected.
Oh,
Sure.
It was
time to
exactly
go.
that time, yeah. I remember going to sleep, and then in the morning on the hotel on the telly was saying, "Yeah, Trump is president." That was, oh, for God's sake.
hang on, we're alienating 50% of your viewers here, but you know, fuck them.
Who cares?
I don't think they're within your viewers, really, but yeah.
No, we have 10 people following us, so not bad.
Oh wow! Hi, 10 people.
Hello.
That's a big time.
That's it.
Hello, everyone. I'm waiting.
So it is just like one of my comedy gigs.
Well, in a way,
We've all had less.
it's more than an Edinburgh audience.
Yeah.
We're
Double
already
figures, guys.
winning, and we are not wasting all the money that we're wasting when we do.
That's true.
So look at the bright side in a way. But guys, I wanted to ask you something that I ask to all my my guests on the Puma in the Cage. Yeah. Is there anything that you do now that you never done before during this lockdown? Is there anything that you start doing now that you never done before, Daphna?
Yeah, I have a daily ritual that I had to cut short today in order to be here. And you have 3 very angry little Israeli children that were left behind. Every night at 6 o'clock London time, 8 o'clock Jerusalem time, I read a bedtime story for my 2 nephews and my niece, aged between 8 and 13. And they love it. This is the second book that we're reading already. It's called The Polar Bear Travelers Club or something like that. It's in Hebrew, so I can't quite. And it's a British book, and they love it. So I would pretend that I do it for them, but actually I enjoy it more than them. I keep being scared that they might not want to hear it anymore, and that maybe they'll be fed up with me. So I'm very tense every night before 8, but so far it's been very exciting, and we're doing it every night.
Nice. Have you seen, there is that, what's the name of that actor who's very hot and is in Peaky Blinders, and he also reads bedtime story. And
Does he?
Yeah, what's his name? I can't remember.
I want him to read me a bedtime story.
It's the one who did the film with Leonardo DiCaprio as well. What's
I
his
know
name?
who you mean,
Tom
yes.
Hardy. Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
everyone was like nearly wanking himself while he was reading.
I mean, I wasn't.
I didn't know he was doing that. I totally would be. I just had no idea that this was happening. My life has just changed. I think I'm abandoning my nephews, my nieces, everybody. This is it. Tom Hardy's bedtime story. Yeah.
Matt, how much wanking have you done to Tom Hardy? I've
Yes. I'm a ladies, sir. I'm not going to get into these kinds of things.
I was asking Matt.
It's definitely not something that started at Corona time.
It's not a new thing.
No, it's not a new thing. It's not a new thing. There's another thing that I'm doing, if I may just tell you. I think you probably have been seeing it on Facebook because you can't ignore it. I'm sorting out my wardrobe. So every day I'm wearing a different dress, posting it all over Facebook. And being fabulous.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's hashtag summer sorting, and you're all welcome to join.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Absolutely serves no comedy purpose or any of my professional purposes, but fuck it, I have nice dresses.
There you go. Very lovely dresses. I agree. And you, Matt, tell me, what do you do? Is there anything that you...
I've completed Pornhub. I got to the end of Pornhub. There's nothing left, you know. No, something I have noticed and didn't notice before, shamefully, and I am doing now is feeding the squirrels that live outside on my fire escape. I live in an old tenement building in Williamsburg in Brooklyn, and I have a little fire escape outside here. I call it my balcony because I can go out there and smoke. You know, I like to smoke. I shouldn't be smoking, but nevertheless, I smoke. And the squirrels, like, because the city is quieter, all the animals are just sort of chilling and they're out and about. And I hear bird song here that I never heard before, so I'm appreciating that. And when I do my shop, I buy a big fucking bag of peanuts, roasted peanuts in their shells, and I feed the squirrels. It's quite nice, actually. It's quite grounded.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what I have? I have a family of foxes that they walk
Really?
past. There was a tiny little fluffy fox. It was so cute. And I have a little fence like this just to separate my garden from my neighbor garden. It's literally 20 centimeters. And he couldn't jump on the other side, so his mom helped him. It was so cute.
I have like a brothel of them. They're like, I don't see them much. But
A brothel of foxes.
I thought somebody was getting murdered. They're just shouting like there's no tomorrow. Nobody else is having sex, but the foxes are like...
Is everybody in London? Are you all in London?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Romina and I are in East London. Are you also in East London, Steve? I never remember.
Southeast now, southeast. I've moved south of the river. Can I point out, we got to 12 minutes before anyone mentioned wanking, and then in a 3-minute time, we're at Fox brothels. So great work, guys.
The only way is up.
All right.
Yeah, let me say hello to a couple of people. Dave Holmes. Much love to
Dave, hey, that's my friend.
She paid, oops, that's what he says. I have to pay you to go. This could last for a while. Dave Holmes. I don't know. But hi, Dave.
Okay, can I say something about Dave? Dave lives in Edinburgh, and he is a fabulous sports therapist, and he can fix you whatever's broken with you. And this is how I know him and how he became my friend. And he actually fixed my back from afar. I got my medications this morning by the way. So, Dave, thank you very much for alerting the general public to my agony.
Nice. But let's move on to Steve. You tell me, what do you do that you've never done before?
Oh, I'm one of these assholes that is having a really productive lockdown. You know, one of these annoying bell ends online. I'm teaching myself piano chords, guys.
Jesus.
Ooh, nice.
Woo.
Yeah, I'm teaching myself. Whoa, let's have a
I
jam.
wonder what's in your butthole. I wonder what's in your butthole. Do you recognize it, Steve?
What's in your butthole? Yes.
No.
Sorry.
No, the guitar.
I recognize the guitar. Yes, I used to have one like that.
Yeah, here's yours.
So yeah, I'm teaching myself piano, which is, I mean, you know what, guys, all these concert pianists, it's really easy. It's really easy. You can do it in a day. Don't listen to anyone tell you I'm really talented. It's a piece of piss. It's just pressing buttons. They're just big long buttons.
And that's
Amazing.
it.
That's it. That's piano done.
Oh, nice. I used to have, when I was a little girl, I used to have, I don't know if you remember in the 70s, the pianola Bontempi.
Yeah, I remember that.
The one that when you switch it on, it sounded like it was about to take off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had nothing. I still have it, and it's very good condition. And I used to play that. I used to play la 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 per Elisa. That was my forte at that time. Now I can't play anymore. But yeah, I used to do that. So yeah. So no, what I do, yeah, whatever.
What have you done that's new?
What have I done? Well, what I do, I do dance routines.
I've seen you post not videos.
I do, yeah, because I'm trying to lose weight and keep fit at the same time. But I get bored with all the, fitness stuff. I get really bored, and I love dancing. So there are a few professionals from Strictly Come Dancing that they do tutorials in the morning, and they do every day. They do a different routine. So every morning I do a different routine, and then I post it. But a couple of last week or 2 weeks ago, I fell over.
Oh my God.
And now I have like a very bruised foot, but I can still dance. It doesn't hurt. It's just purple.
When you're dancing, Steve's making music. You two are being very productive compared to me. I mean, I'm really not doing much at all.
Just the
A lot of
Pornhub.
reading and some writing. And...
But
I'm
that
doing
is
fuck
good.
all.
I haven't been writing anything. I was writing 2 shows, and now I'm writing none.
Oh, yeah. Has anyone started next year's show yet? Matt, have you started?
Oh, no.
No.
Daphna.
I have a title. I have nice pictures. I've great, like, I don't know if you've seen on the ad to this show, my picture wearing a Flintstones kind of dress and having a selfie stick made out of a bone of a dinosaur. That's my show, Stone Age Millennial, and that's all it's got, basically, except from the notion that I am, in fact, the first millennial, just turned 50. I'm the Lucy of millennials, like the first millennial ever lived. I mean, I don't look at me like that, Matt. I don't have a proper job. That's basically.
I wasn't looking at you like
I like the idea that millennials can trace their ancestry back to you.
Exactly. This is me.
Yes.
I'm the mother of all millennials. This is my mother's also disappointed. Everybody's worried about me. Nobody's going to know what I'm going to be when I grow up. I don't have sex, not on principle, but hey, I'm getting there. Yeah, stuff. So that's basically, I was supposed to write 15 minutes of stuff about this notion, and about a minute is done. So there you go. But we have another.
You've got a title and you're working
Like
backwards.
this.
And it's cooking, Daphna. It's cooking. It's always cooking, right? You know?
I mean, why does it need to cook now? There's nothing. But when's the next festival that is feasibly going to happen? They moved the Brighton festival that was supposed to be in May has now moved, like in theory, to October. We've got time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
don't think that'll
wonder.
happen.
Yeah, I wonder
I
if
wonder.
if something is gonna happen actually this year. I doubted pubs and bars and places where you can perform are gonna open this year. I doubt it.
Fuck
We
the
have to
phone,
do it
places where you can have a
online.
pint. That's what we're going to do.
Right. You're so unusual, Daphna, for an Israeli. You like to drink. You're the only Israeli I know who I can really get drunk with.
18 years, and I've got my British passport now. Why do you think they gave it to me? I had a drinking test before. I had to answer. I don't know if you remember the show that I did about the life in the UK test. The most important question was, you spill a stranger's pint at the pub, what happens next? And you need to describe exactly how they're going to knife you. So basically, I've passed. I've done it. I've got it. I've been a British citizen since December 2016.
Okay, congratulations.
I've learned, yeah.
And
My mom
I've
takes
been
me out the whole day.
And I've been British since, I think, November 2017, something like October or November
All right.
2017.
Yeah,
It's
you're
interesting because a lot of us are looking for a way out now.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I've been British.
Romina is the only one lucky enough to also be European. I only came here to become European, and now I'm not a fucking European. The moment I got my European passport, they snatched it away just like that. This is it.
I mean, I would love to. I mean, I suppose we're not supposed to talk about these things online, but I'd love to marry an American so that I can get the citizenship, so I don't keep having to apply for visas, and they can get a British passport. But now we're no longer in the EU. You know, it's no longer an
It's not such a catch.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I've got a passport here. It gets you into one country.
Corona land.
Yeah.
I mean, we only have 32,000 people died so far.
But what has
Two if
been
you
really
count
nice-
Gibraltar.
What's been really nice for me to see from afar has been the NHS. I'm so proud of the NHS, you know, the way everyone's come together, like it's to support the NHS. I know we still got divisions with Brexit and everything, but seeing this side of the British character that comes together and wants to look after each other, you know, everybody volunteering. Obviously, there's no national health system here.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see.
Yeah.
We'd
You
like
have
to see
health
our
insurance.
government supporting the NHS. That's the point of it. We don't. Yeah, I mean, it's a few more £1,000 would have been better than us cheering for it. That's
Well, yeah, there's a really worrying narrative of the mentality of raising money for the NHS like an NHS as a charity. Every single time the government say well done to a group of people for raising money at the NHS, they're essentially admitting we didn't fund it right. And that's the mentality we have to think about. Not that the NHS needs money. It's why aren't you doing this right? Why do we have to do it? You know, we already do it. God, this got serious, guys.
Yeah, and on this note, let's get to the next question, guys.
That's my fault. I'm sorry.
No, no, that's how it goes. I want to ask you this because I have a recurring dream since lockdown. Do you have a recurring dream? Steve?
All of my recurring dreams have stopped since I used to have a recurring dream about the Edinburgh Fringe every year from January to August, and I haven't had one since it's been cancelled. And it's amazing. This cancellation and COVID thing is exactly what my mental health has been needing for 7 years. So, you know, I'm kind of secretly kind of glad I'm losing $4,000.
I feel like I'm saving.
And you, Matt?
Recurring dreams. Well, I have the wildest dreams, the ones I can remember, but that's down to like whiskey and beer, you know, sometimes 2 in the morning, you know, Maker's Mark and Budweiser. No, I had a weird dream last night that I was trespassing in Central Park and the Russians got hold of me and they wouldn't release me until I filled in some big book about mathematical equations. You know,
oh, that's the Russians for you. They love the maths.
Did you
That's
drink
what they do.
vodka?
They're very scientific. Yeah.
Is it a full moon? There's a full moon or something.
Something.
That affects your dreams, you know. Let's have the wildest dreams in a full moon.
Yeah, if you're a werewolf.
And you, Daphna? Do you have?
I don't think I've dreamt and one dream ever since this thing started, but I was actually in the midst of following a big dream that I was working on in the last year. I suddenly decided at my old age that I want to become an academic, and I have signed up for PhD programs in various universities. And in the last few weeks, I'm being told that my dream has come half true because I've been accepted to all these universities, but nobody has money to give me a scholarship. So I'm pretty much fucked. But my PhD that was supposed to involve you, Romina, was all about immigrants comedy in the UK. So we were supposed to be spending a lot of time interviewing each other and me watching you stuff. So that was my dream, and it will reoccur until it happens.
No, I have been dreaming to go on a trip. And for some reason, I always missed a flight. It only happened once in my entire life to arrive late at the airport. And that has stuck with me, I think. And now that I can't go anywhere because there aren't any flights anyway, I keep dreaming that I'm about to go on holiday and I got too late to the airport and I missed my flight. And not every single night, but quite often.
Wow.
That's a classic. That's a real like symbolic and nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that is me. But anyway, guys, the half an hour is basically...
What?
No!
Yes! yes, it's quick. It's quick,
Time
it's
means
fun.
nothing anymore, huh? In quarantine, time really means nothing anymore, man. What's happened? I'm like, was that a week ago? It feels like days ago, and it's crazy, right?
But you know, because
Wow.
I don't really work, for me it's like this. Every time of the year, in lockdown, not lockdown, I never know what day is, what time. You know how many times I ask my boyfriend, what day is today? And after a few minutes, I ask again, what day did you say is today? I mean, I'm completely fucked up, so nothing has changed for me, really. But guys, you've been absolutely amazing. I'm so happy you've been on this show. I hope to have you again soon. I love you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for having
for
us.
having
Great
me,
to
my
see you
love.
guys. Great to see you,
Take care,
Stefan.
guys.
Everybody.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
lockdown.
Bye-bye.
Be safe.
Bye-bye. 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 So that was the end of the show. Next week, we're going to have Stella Graham and Philip Kostelecki and someone else who I don't know yet. But you'll find out. Follow us at the usual address. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.